All right, guys, there we go. Hey, everybody, welcome. This is the Raw review, July 9th, the supposed go home show of Extreme Rules. I got Tim and Michelle here, and we're going to just jump right into it.
What up? What up? What up, everybody? I'm here for the Raw review today. Quick little intro. All right, Michelle. All
Hi. That's all I got.
All
right, Louis,
righty.
go ahead and moderate it and start us off.
All right, so we started off actually with a first time in a long time wrestling match instead of a promo or anything. We got Becky and Seth Rollins coming out taking on Andrade and Zelina Vega in a mixed match elimination match. What?
Yeah. And you realize after the initial elimination, everybody looked at each other kind of awkwardly, like, "Wait a minute, is this still going on?"
Yeah, because they're not too big on intergender wrestling, so I thought when Zelina was eliminated, they would Becky and Zelina would just like walk to the back or something. But they
Yeah, I
stood
felt
there.
for that. It was weird.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I think it's not something that they thought through correctly because I mean it was kind of a dumb idea because once one person gets eliminated, then the partner gets eliminated, so it's essentially pointless.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, so that was a quick boring match because then you had Becky just standing there, and then you had Seth Rollins just him and Andrade. I guess they could have better matches on the line, but I didn't really pay attention to it just because I was so confused what's going on with Becky. That's what I was most interested in the whole time. What's going on with Becky? What's going on with Zelina on the outside? And I want to give that match maybe like a C plus. Seth Rollins ended up with the curb stomp win, and it was it wasn't too fascinating.
I agree. I wasn't impressed by that match at all. I love Andrade, and he was pretty good, but Seth Rollins has been real boring in the ring lately. I don't know what it is. I can't get into his
Yeah.
matches.
I think it's because he's too cookie cutter. He's already to the point where it's pretty predictable where he's gonna what he's gonna do. He doesn't have that anything can happen anymore. Everything's just like you can tell everything's just planned out sequence.
Yep.
Well, I feel like honestly, ever since he sent out that tweet with the whole Will Ospreay thing, man, I think that killed his credibility with a lot of people. Like I didn't like him for a while because he brought his ego took over and started talking about paychecks. Like, oh come on, man, you're in the biggest company in the freaking world. Of course, you got the biggest paycheck. So I,
Well, apparently it was Heyman that made him send out that apology tweet.
oh Heyman told him to send that out. Oh, did somebody did share
Yeah, I
that?
heard about that. Yeah,
I think Tim shared it in the group.
probably. I did post that because I saw that too as well. That yeah, Heyman pulled him aside before Raw started. I think this week or last week, and told him he's like, "You're not bigger than nobody, and you're easily replaceable." He's like, "You gotta
Nice.
you gotta earn your spot."
Yeah, that's true. They can take it away like nothing. So, what would you guys give that? If you had to grade it from a 1 to 5 or a F to a A?
Oh, definitely a C minus. It was boring, hard to follow.
I gave it a 2.75.
Okay, okay. But what happened after it to me was wasn't even that eye opening. You had Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans sabotage them at the top when they finished and they're basically celebrating. They just beat them down, and then I wanted to think that was the end of it because then they had these boring promo segments in the back that I just completely forgot about till like right now. So yeah, yeah. That's other than that, that I'm glad that was done with.
Well, that was, I guess, their build up for Extreme Rules.
Yeah, it was. I think it was a good standard, I guess, lazy booking way to, just like you would
To
expect
hype
that.
the match.
Yeah, yeah.
It wasn't
It's like
different.
Control C, Control V type of go home angle, you know. So,
Really
oh
different,
my god.
Preset.
especially last week. Last week was so good, and you really thought that this week was going to be great because it's the build up to Extreme Rule,
Oh
and
yeah.
they failed the
I
whole
I I have quick thoughts on that. So everybody was hyped about last week saying Heyman did the show. I'm thinking, what if Vince was like, you know what, this week I'm gonna do the show, and you're gonna see that they're gonna think it's the same thing. It's not you, Heyman. Trying to say that it's not Heyman. So Vince ran the show, and the people still saw that it's,
He's
Vince's
working
ideas.
us.
Yeah. So he saw the difference between Heyman's show and if people think it's Heyman's show and it's still him running it. People can tell the difference.
Yeah, yeah. Vince
completely
is
different.
Vince does love messing with people.
So I think it was just a test.
Maybe
Speak, Speaking of Heyman,
Oh,
oof,
bomb.
he had the worst piece of trash promo I've ever
What
seen
was
Paul
that?
Heyman do. Right? That
right.
was the laziest, most depressing. I'm gonna come do my segment and get out of here. That was and go run to the back and gather and figure stuff out for Vince. That was bad. That was
Oh
the
yeah.
worst Paul Heyman
It,
promo I've ever seen.
it's like a cover your own ass. It's like, let's remind them Brock Lesnar still has the money in the bank. But
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
essentially meaningless.
Yeah, because he said the same thing he says every other time he comes out and cuts a promo. "Oh, he's gonna cash it, I promise you." And something's
Well,
gonna happen.
lying. Maybe he's not.
Wow.
No, you
Why?
didn't catch. Remember, this time was different because he's like, or not. He says, or Brock Lesnar won't be there at all. And I'm just telling you guys this so you could think he's going to be there. That way, Seth Rollins and Kofi
Uh,
Kingston will be scared. So it was a little different, but
oh, okay, okay. You see,
yeah.
I tuned out after a little while just because
No,
I get
dude, there was
so
a twist
mad.
at the end.
Wanted to choke him. I was like, "What's wrong with you, Paul Heyman?"
No, it was decent. It was decent. It's not his best work, but it was solid.
I'm excited to see what's gonna happen when Brock ends up. In my opinion, spoiler. I think he's going to cash in on Kofi and become the SmackDown WWE champion just because of the whole Fox deal. I don't know if he's gonna. I don't know if it's gonna happen at Extreme Rules, but I do know when he does cash in, it's definitely gonna be on Kofi.
I agree.
And I was listening to a couple videos on YouTube earlier, a couple reports, and I heard Kofi's apparently is hurt. And
Oh
let's
wow.
see what happens on Sunday. Maybe he might need to take some time off, or they'll hopefully they'll give him the victory and write him off TV in some devastating, extreme ass way. So next we had Miz and the Usos versus Elias and the Revival in another confusing, stupid 6-man 2 out of 3 falls match. It's like, what's up with these gimmick matches?
I liked the 2 out of 3.
You like them?
I do, especially if you're gonna do a 6-man tag that you've been doing over and over and over again. I think the 2 out of 3 falls match at least gives it something interesting.
Yeah, I like the idea of no wrestling during commercial breaks, but I feel like there's a different way to go about it. Like I like the 2 out of 3 falls matches every now and then, but now we're seeing them almost a month straight, and I'm like, come on, please just stop already.
Yeah, it's
Like,
like Vince, you pay for these dudes in creative. Have them do their job and be fucking creative and come up with ways to, have somebody get knocked out on the outside, go to break, come back, dude's barely recovering, put somebody through a table. There's, a lot of good ways to segue to break other than doing 2 out of 3 false matches.
yeah, yeah. like 2 out of 3 falls matches, it lets everybody, I guess, showcase their work, like how good of a talent they are. But
Yeah.
then at the same time, if you do it every week, you're just gonna, when you do other gimmick matches, they're gonna seem meaningless. Like, I don't know, I don't even know which match I'm most excited for at Extreme Rules, and this is the go home show. At this point in the show, I saw um about 3 champions, and I still wasn't excited for the Extreme Rules.
I got a question. Where
Yeah.
the fuck is Finn Balor?
Oh my gosh.
Where's our Intercontinental Champion? Has
Uh,
anybody seen him? Asking for a friend. I don't know. Did they drop the IC title? What's going on here?
man, I miss him. He's one of the best workers they got, and they're not using him. I
That's
know he's
crazy.
maybe he asked for time off because he's been with his girlfriend a lot lately. I've seen on Twitter, on Instagram and stuff. So got back. Let's get back to the match. It was the Revival that got the first fall, thanks to the Miz. I guess getting pissed off at Elias, chasing him around. I love Elias, man. I'm upset they didn't get an entrance. I love an Elias entrance. There's nothing like an Elias entrance on a Raw night.
I love the new Elias. Did you notice how they're changing his character a bit? He's now being more aggressive and more like less singing, entertaining, and more aggressiveness in the ring. So that's
Yeah,
actually it's going pretty good.
That's exactly what he needed to do. He's a great heel. Put down that guitar and just get in the ring and do your stuff. I was a little disappointed that they made him go in the back and he didn't really get to wrestle.
yeah. I just love hearing the WWE stands for. The crowd goes wild. That's
That's
the
gold,
best.
but they're not building off of it.
Yeah, I know they did it for a good couple months, and they dropped it, and now he's occasionally Shane McMahon's stable boy. God, I hate Shane McMahon. Thinking about him, I want to shoot
Am I the
myself.
only one that loves what's going on here? I love it.
You love
It's
this whole
amazing. It's
the
the
best in the
best in the
world,
world. I dig it. It pisses
man.
people off, so I love it.
Yeah, I get so mad. I get triggered by this crap. So after that first fall, I guess you can say the Miz made up for his mistakes by getting distracted by Elias and got the second fall. And long story short, Usos won with the Uso splash. I give that a solid C.
I'll give it a 3.
I gave it a B plus. I like that match.
Oh, I need some insight on this. Why? Why a B plus and we both have a C or a 3?
I love the revival. I love the Usos. I think that they put on a great match. It's just great wrestling. I like the 2 out of 3 falls. Miz
No,
needs to wrestle on because
Hey, they could be
that's
rubbing Bengay on each other, so we should appreciate what we got last night.
yeah, that is very true. It's very true. Because
which
remember the revival were caught rubbing lotion or whatever it was under.
thank God gotten away from that and they just have them wrestling.
Man, you know what? Honestly, every time I see the revival on TV, I just kind of want to hear, just like a Young Buck or AEW, some type of sneak diss on them. I'm kind of just waiting to hear something on Raw, but I feel like at this point now we're not gonna hear anything until probably after All Out. I don't think.
Around
I think,
October.
or October, you won't hear the end of it. The reviews are gonna be crazy.
The media created a war between these guys. There wasn't even no war, and then the media kind of
Oh
instigated.
yeah,
Yeah.
the internet is undefeated. All right, so next, if I miss some segments, call me out on it because there's some stuff I just didn't care about. I completely didn't even take note on it. So what I had next was the Mysterio Open Challenge, and spoiler alert, one of the three squash matches of the night. Man,
I loved it. I loved it.
you liked it? You liked the squash match?
This was, I gotta say, this is a Heyman move. Look what he's doing. He's legitimizing Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley was doing all these stupid, arm contests, something that didn't take him serious. Now he just destroyed the legend Rey Mysterio, the luchador. It puts
Yeah.
him over big time. No
You
joke,
know
and
what,
he
man?
even cut a promo after. When do you see Bobby Lashley cut a promo like that? It was a promo from his heart. It wasn't a scripted promo. If you go look at it, that's Bobby Lashley, cutting a promo without any strings attached. And I think that's a Heyman move right there.
I think
I would
Heyman worked. I think Heyman worked. Sorry, go ahead, Michelle.
I would agree with that. Definitely Heyman.
I think he worked me because I was upset that I saw a legend like Mysterio get beat down like that. So I guess now that I think about it, the way Tim put it, yeah, he did. Lashley did get over big time rather than Mysterio. Mysterio's just coming back from injury. What a better way to get heel heat than to, you know, rain his parade.
Yep.
Complete squash, basically, too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So at first I put a D in my notes, but I might change that to C plus.
It wasn't a match, so I'm gonna leave it at a 4. Or I mean,
Yeah,
at a 1 star, I guess.
good good
It wasn't a
segment.
match. Yeah, it was a good
Yeah, you're
segment,
right.
but no
Yeah,
match.
we forgot
So
the recap of Drake Maverick winning the 24/7 title.
oh my gosh,
It's so
something's going
shame.
on. Something's gonna happen with him and his wife because they keep putting her on TV. She's getting more and more lines every week. I'm
She
like,
Yep.
gonna
man, what's
win it?
going on?
She gonna
She,
win it? Is this what I'm seeing?
Right?
she agreed to consummate the marriage. One, I guess they still haven't consummated the marriage.
That's where she's gonna pin him during consummation. That's what it's gonna. That's gonna be their edgy TV.
Life sex celebration 2.0. Man, so did Truth end up winning the belt at the end for a quick second, and Drake Maverick got it back or something? I didn't really pay attention to the 24/7 segments.
No,
Just
he ran after him, and that's how it ended.
Yeah,
Oh,
just a bunch of running around. Cause remember they ran through forgot what segment it was, but they were out. Somebody was out in the ring, and everybody was just running through the. They ran through the crowd and all that.
oh
Like
yeah, this led up to our second squash match of the night. This guy that I don't I've even forgot wrestles No Way Jose, which I think he looked a little bigger to me than usual. And Cesaro, somebody who I think is I was commenting with Will back and forth on the thread the other day. I think Cesaro is more of a top mid carder than a main event guy. Maybe that's just because the WWE painted that image in my head because I got back into wrestling when he
See,
wasn't being pushed. So
I'm a fan of Claudio Castagnoli. I've been a fan of his since his Ring of Honor days, so I know for a fact he's definitely top, top championship material. He's one of the best all around superstars there is. He has good technical skills, good high flying skills, good power move. He's the whole package. Once he gets his promos down, he's gonna be a force to be reckoned with.
man, I feel like he definitely needs a mic. He definitely needs a voice. Heyman's busy, so who can step in? Leo Rush. If you
oh,
see him.
yeah. I think if they can work with Cesaro to get his promos better, he would be best on his own. I agree with Tim all the way. He is definitely top card material. They just haven't booked him right. They keep putting him with somebody else.
Yeah, that's true. I think you commented on this last time, Michelle, in our last review about that. But if they just gave Cesaro his own, now will be his time. Now it's looking like he's gonna get that. You know,
Yeah.
I thought they would put him and Ricochet back in the U.S. title picture for Extreme Rules. I like how they're going now. You know, better storyline, better segments. But I feel like Cesaro needs that U.S. title right now. Even though Ricochet has it, I just feel like maybe a feud with them will be better than most picks.
Yeah, it would be
Definitely
pretty good.
better opponent than No Way Jose.
Yeah, yeah, like
I
yeah,
think they're
that's true.
just slowly rebuilding them as a top threat. That's what I think. This is another Heyman move. Cesaro segments are another Heyman thing because he's not. He's has his new theme song, a little more epic now, and they're slowly giving him his push. They're showing you a little bit of what he can do, and once he actually has competitive matches, they're gonna start building him up more as a top contender, even a mid card contender, like you said. Win the U.S. title, hold it for a few months, lose it, move up to the world title picture. Easy.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with that.
Like with Cesaro, he's kind of proved himself already. I don't think he needs to be built that much.
Mm, I agree. He's loyal
Hey,
as hell.
Yes.
yeah, that is true. Yeah, that is super true. He's super loyal. Because a lot of people, I don't know how. Maybe maybe for a while they did. A lot of the superstars in WWE did feel like there was nowhere else to go, and they're trapped. Maybe that's why. But I don't know what goes on back there. Could all we could do is speculate.
Yeah.
So next we had our third squash match in a row, which the Viking Raiders, formerly known as the War Raiders, against. Did anybody catch the jobber's name? I just know there were some jobbers they faced.
I don't know. I
For the
forget now.
sake of argument, let's call them Thing One and Thing Two.
Thing one and thing two got destroyed. Oh my god, I love the Viking Raiders. All their matches in NXT were amazing. Like I remember I fell in love with them NXT War Games. It was the War Raiders, Undisputed Era, and I forgot the third team, but man, they're such big guys, but they have the crazy amount of that athleticism and move sets. They do a lot of the things that you see.
Was it Mustache
Let's just
Mountain or
say
Sanity?
I think it was Sanity. I think it was
Yeah,
Sanity. But I think they use a lot of the move sets. Like let's just say as an example, kind of like the Hardy Boys, just kind of, you know.
a lot of
They're,
tandem tag team moves.
yeah, a lot of jumping and I love when they roll off of each other's back. To me, that's so epic. So I gave that a top like a 4-star match B, like a high B plus. Just because the Viking Raiders, I feel like they want to do the war chant, but they can't no more just because of Vince and because they're I guess on the USA Network. But
Yeah, they gotta
that
find something to chant.
yeah, that chant used to get me into their matches all the time.
Why not
They
use
didn't do it in.
Skull? Use Skull, SK. You know that Skull, the like the Viking Skull chant. Skull, Skull, Skull.
Yeah, they could do
That's
that. They could do that. They could definitely do that. What did you think about the Viking Raiders, Michelle?
I like the match. I wish that uh, the jobbers. The jobbers were how they're on Raw against the legitimate team.
Okay, okay.
You could have seen them again. You could have put a regular team, still like it's a legitimate team and not a jobber.
Yeah, they could have used your boy Bobby Roode and he find himself a heel tag team partner.
So there's like some kind of show that he's on, and he's the champion of it.
What?
He's got a championship belt.
You gotta be kidding me. I got.
Guys WWE show. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. I forget what the name of it was. He was tweeting about it.
Oh, I gotta go check his Twitter out now. See what
Oh,
kind of a
that's sick.
shenanigans he's up to.
I am flipping. I'm going to Bobby Roode withdrawal. It's terrible. So now I gotta go on YouTube and I gotta try and see if there's any of his matches on YouTube because apparently that's the only way I'm gonna see him.
So what segments came after the Viking Raiders? Because next I had the Ricochet matches. I know there was a couple segments after that though.
Well, there was a bunch before that. You had the Street Profits hyping up Extreme Rules. You had the recap of the Canellises and Seth and Becky. You had the Bailey and Nikki interview.
Oh, Bailey.
And then a short Roman interview. And then, Ricochet versus Gallows.
I want to actually comment on that Canelli segment. What do you guys think's going on there? Because now it seems like she's just being an angry pregnant lady.
I don't know. This is a crazy gimmick with Maria.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
She can't wrestle, so we're just gonna you just have to expect nothing but backstage promos the entire time.
Yeah, and she's insulting her husband and completely emasculating him, and now she's like, you're probably not even a father, and it's like, what are you doing? Where are you going with this?
I think this is leading to Vince booking Maury.
I have no idea. I was thinking more of like, I don't know. It's weird. It has me a little bit intrigued though.
Yeah. I'm every time I see it, it's not the first thing I think about, but when I do see it, I'm like, oh, I really want to know what's going on here.
Crazy.
Quick note I had down. Did anybody spot any Firefly Funhouse characters? I didn't see anything.
I didn't see anything either, and I didn't see anything last week.
I didn't see anything. I think last week there was one, but I didn't see anything this week.
It's got to be Extreme Rules. Something's got to go down.
I have to tell you, I'm extremely disappointed because it was the anniversary of Bray Wyatt coming to WWE, and for them to not do anything at all, I think they really dropped the ball.
Oh, that's why he tweeted happy anniversary. Okay. Oh my God. Yeah, that's so stupid.
Yeah.
Typical WWE.
He was there last night too. He was there at Raw. He's ready. He has his mask and stuff. He has his uniform. They say he looks crazy when he becomes the Fiend.
Man,
I heard the last couple of weeks.
the amount of talent that
for sure.
they have just traveling. That's it. Like what? It was nice to see Sarah Logan. Haven't seen her in a while since yesterday. Like, where's Ruby Riott? Where's Liv Morgan? Like, what's going on? There are all these people and you hear that some of them are backstage and they're not doing anything. It's like, got to be frustrating, I guess, as for them. I'm trying to look at it in their point of view. It's frustrating for them. They just get to see the same people go out there, and then I'm sure they're all on Twitter, probably checking for criticism, and they just see it every single week. So it just sounds frustrating from me trying to understand them.
Ruby is still hurt though, isn't she?
I know she had surgery on her arm. I don't know if she got cleared yet. But Liv Morgan's fine. Sasha Banks is just emotionally scarred. Who else is out? Sheamus is supposed to be coming back. Randy Orton is supposed to be coming back tonight.
Where's Julian?
Gosh. Apparently he's the one who was knocking on Aleister Black's door. And I don't know how I feel about that. I
Nope,
like.
it's not him.
I think it will be a good match, but I don't think it fits the Randy Orton character to play Ding Dong Ditch. Maybe I'm overthinking it. I'm just hoping for more of a striking match. So I don't know who I would want to go against Aleister Black. Who would you want, Tim, if you had a fantasy book it?
To be fair, if who I would want and who I think it might be is a little different. Honestly, I'd like to surprise everybody to be like, "What the fuck," and it would explain a lot. Behind that door is Finn Balor, the IC champion.
Oh,
He's been
nice.
gone. Like, where has he been? And he's the one
Yeah,
that's coming looking for the challenge because he said he was going to be a fighting champion, and he's want competition. So I would figure he would be the one to challenge Aleister Black. But that brings a question of who do you put over in that situation? You can't
yeah,
have Aleister Black lose his first feud unless you're going to give him the title right away.
yeah. And then I feel like Finn wasn't on TV long enough to even defend it. For him to drop it too. But that's still a good answer. It makes sense. But the way WWE works, they completely demolish our thought
It's going to be our
processes.
truth.
Yeah, they're like, oh, they'll think whatever they want me to, whatever I want them to think, types of such stuff. Oh man. All right, so I had Ricochet go against Luke Gallows. The club is back, guys. A heel
Yeah.
club is back, and I'm excited for this because I didn't like AJ Styles as a face. You can tell he's more the way he works. He's just too aggressive. He just looks like a natural heel. But the only thing I didn't like about what happened when they came out was the I hate video packages. When then the heels like, oh, let's check out what happened last week. I hate those type of video packages. And then he had the most forced laugh ever. He goes, ha 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 ha. But Ricochet beat Luke Gallows, quick match. I think it was a quick roll up. I gave that a C. And then the club was all out there, by the ring, huffing and puffing. So Carl Anderson decided to jump in. And I didn't. This is where my attention span started to fade overall with this show. So I don't know how the Carl Anderson match went, but I hear that Carl Anderson is a great one of the best workers, probably better than Luke Gallows.
I would agree with that.
I like how he always talks about his hot Asian wife.
You see, for me, it wasn't about the match. It was about what happened post match. The club, beating them down and fully reunited. I think that's what the whole point of the two matches were to lead to the beatdown, which was the essential thing in that segment
You know, they
match.
they actually worked me because I thought that AJ Styles said before the match even started, you said you can beat all of us. So you're gonna face all of us. So when he beat Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, I was expecting AJ to step in, and have a match. But then they beat him down, and I was like, "Oh, heel heat, heel heat." Man, they can be a way better faction than the Shield ever was if they were booked right. And I feel like if they can get more members in the club, I want to see Finn Balor with them. Even hopefully they do something with this wild card thing, but that's too. I don't know. I don't know. I don't see WWE doing it. I feel like they're losing too much star power, and Finn Balor can't be
I
a
would
heel
love to
at
see
the
mid
moment.
carders in the club. You have your tag team, you have your top guy, couple mid carders or stooges or whatever you want to call them. Have them take the
Yeah,
beat
like
downs and shit or whatever.
like the B team and stuff. Oh man. So yeah, I give that whole Ricochet segment just a solid, maybe like a C minus. It was boring. And then you had the
I think it's a B.
said what?
I think it's at least a B.
The whole all
Yeah, I would
I
give it a B
guess yeah.
minus.
You
I would
you give it
I
a
just
minus two. You
I
had
just
Ricochet
don't
go over both matches, and then you had the club come together and beat the crap out of him. It was great. What more do you want?
It's build up, bro. It's build up.
I see that. I see that. Maybe I am being a little picky or negative. Maybe I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. But man, I don't know. I would rather just see them just destroy and put them through a table.
That would have been cool.
So what was after that segment? Because the next thing I had was the beat the clock challenge matches.
Yes.
Oh, that was it.
There
I
was
think
a
that was
short
the biggest disappointment for me.
Drake Maverick in the back.
Oh, all these Drake Maverick segments. I don't know.
Yeah, and
He does.
he
He
ran.
does. I'm not as excited to see Drake Maverick as I was to see R-Truth. I want to see EC3 have a little run with it because he's so cocky, and I feel like that's the type of person, somebody who lives that gimmick, you know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he just naturally looks cocky. He has that watch, that smile, that goofy hairdo.
I wish they would bring in what he did at Impact, dude. His shit at Impact was so great. He'd be in the ring and he'd be like, "You can't wrestle." He'd be like, "Yes, I can." "You can't wrestle." "Yes, I can." It was
Oh
fucking
wow.
amazing, bro. It was just dope. It was so sick.
It's insane the amount of talent they have. They decide not to use just for whatever the reason may be, but whatever. So just like Tim said, I was disappointed with this beat the clock challenge. They could have found a way better way to have the stipulations figured out. You know, not this beat the clock challenge. That was weird. It was cool to see Sarah Logan. But literally the only notes I have here about this match was that there were CM Punk chants, not anything else.
Yeah, I think that's what really killed the show is having that be the main event or whatever of Raw, the two beat the clock challenges.
Yeah, and then
Yeah. I mean, I kind of liked the beat the clock. I thought it was a good idea. I think that the matches themselves were kind of lackluster, but the idea I think was there. And then you had the 2-on-1 handicap bombshell drop, and I don't know if it's just me, but I kind of feel like they were alluding to Sasha Banks possibly coming back with that whole Nikki Cross telling Bayley to get a friend. You need to get a friend. You don't know what real
oh
friends.
yeah. I thought that was just the WWE throwing shade at Sasha for a quick second.
It could be throwing shade, or I don't know. Rumors are she's supposed to come back.
Yeah, I do know she was filming for 2K WWE 2K20. She was out filming for that, and she had tons of time off. So, you know,
I
I
think
wish
I'm
the
she.
issue was it was misplaced. It was placed at the wrong time. I think the beat the clock should have been at the very beginning because by the end people are already tired and they want that fast paced, hardcore brawling or action to keep them tuned into the last hour. So I think you should have started off with the beat the clock. Get the women's segment done with in the beginning and then continue on with the show. I think everything would have flowed more smoothly.
I agree with
yeah.
that.
Yeah, I love Nikki Cross's promos. I know she has a very thick accent, but I feel like she has a lot more emotion than even Bailey. 'Cause
Yeah.
Bailey, as much as I love her, she's such a robot when it comes to promos.
Yeah.
Sasha too. Sasha moves and has attitude, but she moves a little too much, you know. So honest and I know the main event was Shane McMahon and whatever, but I honestly turned off the TV at that point after the beat the clock challenge. I was like, okay, I've had enough, and I was like, this show was a go. This was supposed to be a go home show, and this was felt like a filler episode rather than a go home angle. there was nothing that I really remembered at the end. You know, if somebody was asking me, "Hey, you watched Raw last night?" Like, yeah, what do you remember? Oh, I gotta look at my
Gary the
notes.
janitor.
Yeah, you see, I
Fucking
woke
Gary
up.
the janitor.
I woke up to that. I was like, what the hell? So I was a little confused, but I'm like, I apparently right when Cedric took his mask off, they went off air.
Oh, I don't
So
know.
as
I stream it online and I saw everything right after
Oh,
oh
he.
yeah,
I saw it on TV.
that he was just like or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's how it ended. He unmasked and then Roman looked at him, whatever, and that was it. Like I don't know what it was about or what, but it was. I guess it was just a weekly thing.
For just a couple seconds.
Yeah.
What, why Cedric Alexander though?
I think WWE had like a blonde moment last night. They had no idea what they were doing. They just went completely off the rails. Nothing
Yeah,
made
yeah.
sense. Yeah,
They went
what the point was.
they went from I'm excited to hear the Wrestling Observer Radio tomorrow to see how what they have to say about this show. Because last week I heard nothing but good things about Raw, and this week was just it's just stale. And like I said, it felt like a filler match. It felt like one of those last minute matches because everybody's hurt or something. I don't know. Whatever the excuses, they could have done a lot better job and given people better chances to do some crazier extreme go home angles. I always
Yeah,
feel like the go home angles should just soothe with the pay-per-view.
yeah. The most that they did last night was talk about Seth and Becky's relationship. They mentioned it just over and over and over and over and over again as if we needed to be reminded.
So I have thoughts on that. I have quick thoughts on that. They're doing it on purpose. They're gonna turn into a heel couple soon. I have a feeling they're gonna become this cocky PDA heel couple that WWE shoves in our face. I think it's something they're doing on purpose. It's
Like an
not.
Edge and Lita.
Yeah, kind of. They're gonna be the most hated couple in WWE soon.
Man, I
I
can't
don't.
hate Becky. She's awesome.
I can't. I can't. I mean, I get it. They're together and whatever, but they have no chemistry on TV. Everything
Yeah,
feels so.
yeah, it feels
And
forced.
the way that they keep just shoving it down people's throats, it's like, who are you trying to convince? Us or yourself?
it
Yeah.
it's almost as if WWE's like, oh, you guys want to be in a relationship? Fine, we're gonna shove it in everybody's faces so you can see how that goes.
Right? And what happens when they break up?
Awkward.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. You know, they're in WWE. I mean, maybe not. Some people make it work, but CrossFit Jesus and the Man don't look like they'll last too long.
Yeah.
So tonight, what are you guys' expectations? We got SmackDown, and then following day will be SmackDown review. If you guys are down for the same thing, same time,
Okay.
probably a better go home angle tonight.
I hope.
Fingers
Hopefully.
crossed. Fingers crossed.
Really.
So there's not going to be any Bischoff on this. Supposedly everything's going to be next week, but let's just see. Maybe they'll surprise us. I'm just excited to see my boy, the GOAT, Daniel Bryan.
I think a few segments are like Heyman and Bischoff. They work on a few segments until after Extreme Rules when they fully take over the position. You can tell which ones are the Bischoff and Heyman angles and which ones are the good old normal fucking wrestling angles.
Yeah.
At least they cut down on the silly shit like by a lot.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. There wasn't a lot of cursing on this episode, but you know what? They're definitely done with the PG era. They haven't fully announced it, but you can tell it's definitely out the window. whether it be PG-13 or TV-14 or whatever. They might create their own WWE rating, because that's just something Vince McMahon would do. And he's like, nobody can tell me what to do. Only if you have money.
Did you
But
guys know that when they did the recap of Kofi and Joe, that they hid his middle finger?
oh, really?
That's
Yes.
funny.
Man, I forgot that he was facing Joe. I swear to God.
Oh yeah, that's right. Tonight should be interesting then.
Oh man. So what
If
do
they
you
let
guys get?
Joe beat Joe,
Yeah, I want Joe to win this Sunday. If Joe wins this Sunday, let Brock cash in on another day. I just don't want to see him cash in unless it's on Kofi.
I am surprised at Kofi's title reign. It's been longer than expected. It's not the best, but then again, everybody's reign isn't that good until after the reign. That's usually when when it really counts. But I think he's had it for a good while now. Most look at people like Christian. He lost it in a week, less than a week after he won, and people like that who they don't have long title reigns. Kofi has had for quite a few months since Mania, and he's been going over clean on most of his opponents. So I give him props on a decent proper Kofi push.
Nice. So you guys got any last minute thoughts on Raw? Something you want to throw at some theories? What's it's going to lead to?
I'm really hoping that next week's Raw is much better.
It's definitely going to be a breadcrumb episode, meaning storylines are going to be born, storylines are going to be done. So yeah, it is. I
I believe
definitely already
SummerSlam
want
is
to.
next,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
In August. My quick thoughts on Raw, on the fall. Actually, Raw after Extreme Rules, like you said, the breadcrumbs are going to be there. There's going to be some changes, and I'm having a little more hope now than I did before.
Yeah. Yeah, I went from hating them to okay, you got my attention again. Now let's just get this done right. All right, well, if you guys are done, thank everybody for listening. Check out our next show tomorrow. We're hopefully gonna have some more people for Fight for the Fallen and Extreme Rules. And thank you guys for the listen.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.
Later.